Yeah, it is. Away we go on a Friday, Mr. Irrelevant. I'm Alex Strouf with you from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Were your headphones high? What happened there? You look spooked.
You were high. You were screaming.
You were high. I'm not now. But hey, it's almost the weekend. Let's go, baby. Hey, man, Alex Strouf, Josh DiMaggio, Will Summers, Hunter Vaughn with you. Hunter's back at the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studio. It's easy for me to say in downtown Madison. The three of us here in Milwaukee. Lots to get into as it is almost game time. It is almost game day for the Green Bay Packers after the NFL opens its seasons last night. 24-20 Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champions, get a win over the rival Dallas Cowboys. Sorry, Hunter.
It's fine. I didn't expect them to win. They played well. CD's got to learn to catch the ball.
They did play well. Yeah, a couple of crucial drops there in the final drive and at the end of the game. But he did have a good game. I mean, he's a very good receiver. But yeah, a couple of the one drop which was down the sideline and he had to dive for, like that's just a tough catch.
Yeah.
But a couple of bad drops from other.
The one across the middle, he just didn't want to get his head ripped off.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
And I think he got spooked and just
he made a
dropped
business decision.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to, but I'm just saying I don't think Matthew Golden would have done that.
You'd hope they don't do that when the game's on the line, but
That's
hey.
fair.
Against a division rival, a game you kind of need, and you're right there in it against the defending Super Bowl champs.
Hey, I'm not arguing. I was impressed by the Cowboys, though. I thought they looked good. I thought the Eagles looked good. Interested to see, what happens with the NFC East this season. But
there were a few times that everyone pointed out that a pass rusher probably would have come in pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Micah Parsons.
Yeah, Hunter actually texted us that, I think, in the second quarter. It was like, the one thing the Cowboys really need is a pass rusher.
Yeah.
And I forgot who it was. I'd love to give credit to whoever tweeted it. I don't know if you guys saw this, but somebody tweeted, I'm not saying this should happen, but it would be really funny if the Packers traded Micah Parsons to the Cowboys for 3 first-round picks and Kenny Clark. Be like, yeah, that would be pretty funny. Anyway, all right, lots to get into here on a Friday as the Packers and Lions go head-to-head at Lambeau Field. Sunday, 3:25, it will be broadcasted nationwide, just about outside of some areas of Texas on CBS. You can, of course, join us for Green Bay Game Day right here on YouTube, ESPN Madison, ESPN Milwaukee, and, of course, your radio dial, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison for Green Bay Game Day. Coming up Sunday at noon, myself, Gabe Neitzel with you all 3 hours. Joining us throughout will be the mayor, Steve Scafidi. He'll join us in the first hour. Jason Wilde will join us in the second hour. Rob Demovsky will also stop by in the first hour, getting you ready for Packers Lions on Green Bay Game Day. Year 3 for me on that show, and it's truly one of my favorite things I get to do in this awesome job of mine, and obviously this being the other favorite thing I get to do. But Green Bay Game Day back at it. Really excited to do that again coming up Sunday, beginning at noon. So join us if you want to party just outside of Lambeau. So, there's a ton of stuff from this game, ahead of this game, that I want to get into, Joshy. Micah Parsons spoke with the media yesterday. We'll hear from him. We need to talk about some of these injuries. I'm worried about Jaden Reed. I'm worried about Nate Hobbs. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the expectations from the game. And I think the four of us, Will and Hunter included here, Joshy, I think we're going to do a picks battle this year. We're going to pick...
Battle?
Yeah, we're going to pick the Packers game every week. Just straight up winner. And then everybody's got to pick a dog they think will win. Not cover the spread, win. Every week. We're all going to pick an underdog according to ESPN Bet or Potawatomi Sportsbook, whichever one you have available to you. So we will look at that at the end of the show, and of course what we missed presented by Door County Distillery. But the starting point, the only place we can't start is Packers Lions, and let's start with the big addition for Green Bay. Been just over a week now since Micah Parsons was traded to the Green Bay Packers for 2 firsts and Kenny Clark, who had a nice game last night for the Dallas Cowboys. And this week's just been really weird, right? We talked about the facet sprain, the, L4, L5 facet joint sprain in his back. Then the rumor was floating around he might need to take an epidural or some sort of pain shot in order to play on Sunday. But I'll just say this, and I'm no doctor. I don't think I need to clarify that, but I often do clarify I'm not a doctor. I've noticed I do that. This is me once again doing that. I am not a doctor by any means. But I've seen a lot of videos now the last week of Micah Parsons running around at Packers practice. Yesterday he was throwing a really heavy-ass medicine ball that would probably kill me if it landed on me. Doesn't look like a man dealing with a ton of back pain. I'll just say that much. Josh, you see the videos? Does that look like a dude who's got a ton of back? Like, it doesn't look like he's that like constrained or restrained from football activity. I know he hasn't practiced a ton, given the holdout and the back injury when he was in Dallas, but the stuff he's been doing in Green Bay, he looks pretty darn good to me.
No, he's totally fine. The only thing holding him back is the lack of preparation he had in training camp by not participating. I think if I were to put my conspiratorial hat on, Micah Parsons and his agent are making sure to clear themselves of any impropriety, be it on missing time based on the injury they believe to be fake. So when he plays week 1, the Cowboys can't file any sort of grievance about what took place before, during, after the trade.
So that's your take on it. And obviously, I talked with Jason Wilde about this yesterday on Weekly Wilde, which you can find, of course, in the Mr. Relevant podcast feed and on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. Wilde said it's pretty clear to him, Wilde, and this was just him speculating, that it was David Mulgeta who leaked this, right? Because every insider had it at the same time.
Yes, and then you have to piece together why would the agent of an athlete want it known that, hey, this wasn't totally made up. And the more I hear and see experts talk about it, it seems like it's not even a real injury or a diagnosable thing. A facet sprain.
Oh, is that how you say it? Facet?
Yeah.
I always thought everybody's been saying facet.
I got called on Jen Gabe and Chewy by a chiropractor who said, you guys are saying it wrong. It's facet, not facet.
Will, did you know that?
Take a guess. Do you think I knew that?
I was hoping you were going to lie to us and be like, yeah, I knew that the whole time.
I didn't even know what the first version of the word was.
That's a fair point. I didn't either.
So I think there is some sort of pain, or there was at one point that was in Micah Parsons' back? Yes. Do I think it's any cause for concern long term or even in the short term? No, I do not. I think we're going to see 100% of Micah Parsons. Probably.
What are you thinking? Like 30 snaps?
That's what I thought. I thought obvious passing downs and probably critical moments.
Yeah, I agree.
Other than that, it's just, I don't know if you know this, but football is a physical sport. It's a taxing sport.
Oh, really?
And if you're not prepared and you haven't gotten yourself into the football shape of taking hits and all that, you can put yourself at risk of further injury. So,
I mean,
go ahead.
The video that you were referring to of the medicine ball toss is a rotational exercise for your spine. So if there was any doubts about how bad his back injury is, I'm sure he would be able to sit that one out.
Who is this guy? Rotational.
We did those in baseball.
Rotational exercise for your spine.
Now,
who are you?
It's a baseball exercise.
I do agree with like you guys that like this is all just he's playing.
Well, that's just
there is also another point though when it comes to those exercises is if you're in physical therapy, you do exercises to the area that is quote unquote injured. Mm-hmm. So like I think he's playing. But the idea of like the fact that people are saying, he's doing these exercises, see, he's clearly not hurt. Like, no, that's not why he isn't hurt. If he was hurt, you would be doing those exercises to get your muscles in a spot where you can play and heal that injury.
Let's be clear.
He's playing. He's fine.
It's just a matter. Yes. It's just a matter of how much he's playing, right? And that could be to Josh's earlier point. Is that a football / playbook knowledge thing? Or is that a back injury thing to ensure he can also play Thursday on a quick turnaround against the Washington Commanders? Because these are obviously, we've talked about it all offseason long. Jason Wilde disagrees with me on this, but I'm not backing off. This feels like the biggest week 1 game in a long time for the Green Bay Packers, just given the implications at the top of the NFC North.
You're just saying because it's a division game.
It's a division game against a team that's won your division each of the last 2 years, and you are a team who's been a playoff team each of the last 2 years, but you haven't been really in contention late in the season. So this can come back to be a big time factor come say week 14, week 15, as we're getting down to the wire in this divisional race. I expect these two teams to be at the top, and I expect them to be very close. So if the Packers win week 1, obviously that's only going to help their chances stay come Thanksgiving when these two teams meet up again.
You win the Super Bowl, none of this means diddly squat.
Sure. I mean, obviously you need
your
to win.
path to the Super Bowl is easier if you're a division winner, and certainly have the singular bye. That's the best way. But I don't know. First off,
I don't know about how I feel about you, of all people, using the term diddly squat.
Yeah. I don't know The fact that you guys have a disagreement on if it's the most important week 1 game ever.
That's not what I said.
It's like unbelievable.
I feel like it is more taxing than previous week ones.
That's when you know you're desperate for ball.
I agree with that. I mean, no argument from me on that one.
You're getting the scratches.
Oh, I've been itching.
Because, I mean,
you know what I said to my girlfriend?
I don't even know how to refute the or agree.
We're not arguing about this. I just bring it up because I feel like the beginning of the season is so important for the Packers. They obviously have a nice opportunity to rebound the rest of their, I would say like weeks 3 through 10. I feel like they have a really good chance to win a lot of those, right? Browns, Cowboys, Bengals. I think they have the Panthers somewhere in there. Like they have very winnable games until they get into the meat of their schedule come week 10 against the Philadelphia Eagles. But I just feel like an 0-2 start hurts your chances a lot come the division or come to the playoff or come to the number 1 seed. Like you need to start at least 1-1, if not 2-0 these first 2 weeks, and then you're off and running. So that's just more the point I'm trying to make. But you're right. I was itching for football so badly. Last night, you're playing some background music. That was good.
Computer's muted.
Strange. Is that a bad ringtone or something?
I don't know what happened.
So last night, obviously, we get the rain delay or the lightning delay, whatever you want to call it, in the season opener against the Cowboys and the Eagles. When it was announced there was a rain delay, I said to my girlfriend, this is a good thing. She's like, what do you mean? You're not going to go to bed till 11 o'clock now? It's like, no. You're not getting it. I can have a couple more drinks. We get more football later. And that means I have to sleep less hours until there's more football. And she goes, there is something seriously wrong with you. And I said, yeah, that's accurate.
You're deranged.
Yeah, the problem is you fundamentally misunderstand how time works.
Yeah.
No,
it's a big thing.
The game ended. There's less hours than there would have been until the next football game. This is a good take by me.
Yeah, but there was less football in the current time.
Right,
yeah.
I understand that. But we had a score.
So you still got
it was
the same amount of
4:44 left in
football.
the third quarter. But hold on. Well, yes, I agree with that. But we got more football, longer time period. It was almost like a second halftime.
I agree with you, but I think you're using the wrong analogy. This is like if somebody gave you an ice cream
genius.
Somebody gave you an ice cream cone and you got like 3 licks and then they just took it away. And then it came back and it was melted and no one scored in the second half after the lightning delay.
You just switched up the analogy in the middle of that.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're getting too dumb. I think we're getting too dumb now.
I'm split seconds away from walking out of the program. My eyes are fully glazed over. We're talking the importance of week 1 and how important it is. And now your childish Christmas analogy for football because there was a rain delay. This is...
Okay, Josh,
I don't know
what
if
would you like to talk
my level
about?
of anger.
You lead the show.
Green Bay
Take us
Packers
where you want to
faced
go.
the Detroit Lions this week. What are you expecting?
We'll get to that. I want to get to Micah Parsons first. Following, obviously, the back injury and everything going on.
I'm glad we took a left.
Well, yeah, that's what we do on the show. You act like you've never done this before. Sometimes we let Will say something stupid so we laugh at him, but you just zoned out.
Let's be clear, you're the dumb one here.
Yeah. Doesn't feel too good, does it? Huh?
You done?
Maybe. Depends what
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Will. You done?
I never started.
Micah Parsons yesterday in the locker room. Video courtesy of Brian Wood, Green Bay Press Gazette.
Honestly, bro, I felt like Dallas and Detroit already had a rivalry. I already got that rivalry built up. Bro, I'm excited to play them. I never liked Detroit. I never liked them. Even when I was in Dallas, it's just always it was just always a heavyweight fight every time they came in, and they kind of got our guys when I was injured last year, or the whole team was injured. And so, I just think it's a funny way how things work. I'm excited to play them. I know they're excited, and it's going to go all 12 to 15 rounds.
What do you think of trick plays?
Trick plays are for people who can't beat you straight up. It's like a guy running around the ring all day trying to jab, but meet me in the middle. You know what I mean? Let's line it up. And I think That's what guys who try to do trick plays do. They can't beat you head up. They don't want to out-physical you. They don't want to be dominant. It's a scared tactic, I guess, but, I can beat you any which way.
I mean, it's the best this guy's a Green Bay Packer. It's the best. I want to listen to him talk every week from this point forward. What do you think of trick plays? Well, I think that means they can't beat you straight up. And then he goes on to talk about how he can out-physical anyone. You know who he's matched up with on Sunday, right? We're all aware. He's matched up with one of the best tackles in football on Sunday.
A guy who he beat like a drum.
Correct. In Penei Sewell. I'm having a hard time containing my excitement for this edition. And I know it's been a week, and I know we've talked at length about what this does for the Packers and how it explodes them and catapults them immediately into championship contention. But Sunday is our first opportunity to truly understand the impact a game changer like Micah Parsons can make when you add him to an already pretty good defense. We've said this time and time again the last week, but I will say it again. The Packers now have what you believe to be a true game changer at every level of their defense, and Micah Parsons, Edgerrin Cooper, and Xavier McKinney. And they get a really, really fun first test Sunday against a team that won 15 games a year ago in the Detroit Lions, and a good offense. Now, what are the Lions without their offensive genius offensive coordinator, right? Ben Johnson, now the head coach of the Chicago Bears. They now have a different offensive coordinator, different defensive coordinator. Does that offense still pack the same punch? I imagine it will be similar because when you have good players, that's going to always outrank a great offensive coach. And they do have really good players, right? Jahmyr Gibbs is looked at, I think, as one of, if not the best running back in the NFL come 2025. Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Sam Laporta, one of the best tight ends in the NFL. This is a really good offense. But they're matching up with a team that has the potential to not only be a really good defense, but the best defense in the entirety of the NFL. And that's what Micah Parsons does for you. That's what makes me so damn excited to see this guy on Sunday, even if it is in a limited capacity, right? If it's 25, 30 snaps defensively, he is a game wrecker. He's a game changer. And that's something he didn't have a year ago, despite being a top 10 defense. Something he didn't have was a guy who can totally flip a game on its head. And now you have that. Back injury or not, Micah Parsons brings that to the Green Bay Packers. And that's what makes me so unbelievably excited and jacked up hearing from Micah Parsons.
I'm glad the guy talking like that's an all-pro and it's not coming from
Rashawn Gary.
Yeah, or Keyshawn Nixon or whoever it may be. I do want to point out the trick play thing. The trick play thing with Detroit is a little different than everyone else. They do them and they still punch you in the face. I believe he's probably a little particularly sensitive to the trick play thing because, Hunter, correct me if I'm wrong, there was a situation last year where the Lions were beating the Cowboys like a drum and ran multiple trick plays near the goal line because they were just having fun.
Oh, it was at midfield. They were running trick plays even. The trick play at the goal line you're referring to between them was the Monday Night Football game that then the touchdown got called back because they said it was an ineligible receiver, even though it technically wasn't actually an ineligible receiver. So, yeah, that's my issue with Micah saying this about them. And it's like, no, they do this all the time. And they still ran the ball down your throat.
I guess I didn't realize this because it was week 6 of last year. The Lions absolutely smoked the Cowboys in week 6. Hendon Hooker played in that game. Final 47-9. The Cowboys did not score a touchdown. 47-9 was the final in that one.
I believe there was a situation where they ran a trick play, it got flagged, and then they just ran a different one right after.
Did Parsons not play? He doesn't show up on the stat sheet.
Yeah, he didn't play in that game. Because that was like right around when the back stuff started.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes me feel a little bit better then.
I do think that Dan Campbell, given that obviously like the Detroit players know he just said this, like I think early on when Micah sees his first couple of snaps, they're going to run something directly at him in the running game. Just from the sense of that's the way Dan Campbell, I feel like, operates. And that'll be really interesting to see how Micah handles that, how the Packers are ready to go with it. Oh, no, I get it, Strouf. I'm just saying, like, I I think that's something we're going to see, and I'm really interested to see if it happens.
I actually do agree with you. But I made the hand motion for those of you listening on the audio side. Just bring it on, man. Like, maybe I understand it's going to be very hard for me to overestimate the abilities of Micah Parsons because he is that good. But like in my head, I'm like, yeah, he's the best player ever. Just crown him best player. That's how excited and probably overexcited I am for this edition. But yeah, I want to see him in a bunch of situations on Sunday. And I know he's going to be limited in some capacity for a couple different reasons. But between Sunday and Thursday, I'm ready to see what this guy can do.
As much as I think his back is fine, I certainly don't want Penny Sewell whipping around and hitting him as a pulling tackle or one of the guards.
Yeah.
That's not one of the first plans of action I'd like to see from Micah Parsons. I'd like a little ease into that style of play, and I think that's why they're going to be specifically conservative in week 1 with bringing him along.
And
Fair.
To go back to what you said about the way that you view Micah, I mean, when he was on the Cowboys, I was on Wilde and Tausch and said that Micah Parsons is the most versatile defender since Lawrence Taylor. That's what that man does to you when you're a fan of the team he's on.
Oh, baby.
He has a 99.9 PFF grade when blitzing as a mugged up linebacker.
He did a James Harden
90.
crossover on a guard in game, and it worked.
Yeah, he's a 99.9.
And that's a scale out of 100,
Yeah.
by the way.
If you don't think they're going to find a way to use him over that center who's replacing was it Rutledge that retired? Or
No, it was Ragnow.
Ragnow. If you don't think you're going to see that in week 1, I think you got another thing coming.
No, Daniel in the YouTube chat hopes that Rutledge retired, but he's not talking about the football player.
Jimmy.
The first thing, I think this is something that'll be really fun for Packer fans. When watching the Cowboys with Parsons on them, my first thing I would do when the Cowboys were on defense was, where's Micah starting? And then I would just watch him. There were times where I wouldn't even watch the ball because he's that fun to watch as a player, especially when a team gets into 2nd and long, 3rd and long situations. That's when he's at his best. You guys are going to have a lot of fun on Sunday afternoon. I'm going to be living just in absolute hell watching him do things.
I understand. The other part, before we get to some of the other injuries, aside from Micah Parsons.
How many Micah tweets are you going to send?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. On Sunday alone or the season?
Sunday alone.
The over-under is probably 1.5.
I got you at 2.5.
I was going to say 4.
And you like the over or the under?
I like the over a little bit because I think him even being near a play is going to get you fired up.
Well, yeah, it doesn't. But hold on a minute. You got to understand who you're working with here. It doesn't take a lot for me to get
Yeah, I know.
Unless they're getting their ass kicked, which, again, don't rule it out because Detroit is still very good. Like, I don't think they're going to get their ass kicked, but they might lose. It's very possible they lose. I don't think they do. I'm picking the Packers, and we'll get to our picks a little bit later. But, I mean, Detroit's still really good. And I don't know, to give them respect before I dunk on them later, I don't know how many teams in the National Football League period from last year were capable of doing what they did. They were shredded defensively. Shredded. They still won 15 games. They went 15-2 last year. They had the best record in the NFL. So don't get it twisted. Like, they were a very good team. But injuries got them. And now they lose their coordinators, which I do think will have an impact. But they're still going to be a playoff team. They're still a very good team. They're still very much going to be in the race for the NFC North. So that's that. All right. Yeah, I'll take the over also, by the way. I'm going to be tweeting Micah. Strictly for you. I try to add a little bit more substance than that.
Not all.
No, you
Micah
don't.
Sack. Micah Sack.
I think we've done a bit on this program before about
We
how
have.
a lot of your tweets, when you're excited at a game, are just sort of, they're not even complete sentences.
Oh, never.
They're
No,
just
usually not.
like general things.
And if you want to follow me on Twizzler, you can do that at Alex_Strouf, STROUF. You can see my game tweets. This is
We
like my
haven't-
time of the year on that platform.
I was going to say, we also should probably, for people that are new to the program, because I don't think we've explained it for a while here, the Twizzler reference was Pat Murphy called Twitter Twizzler last season. So as a show, we've kept that bit.
It was a long time ago. Yeah,
so that way then people understand why we spell it Twizzler on the video stream here.
Or X. It says Twizzler/X, which you can follow me there. This is my time of the year on that app, though, man. Like, Packers games, just tweeting half sentences. This is where I thrive.
I'm putting it at -600. We just get an all caps Micah after the first tackle.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, -600.
I'm just letting his last comment wash over me. It's my time on the app. I mean, goodness gracious.
The fact that you're proud of it being your time on that particular app is just gross.
Well, we've talked about my usage of apps on this program before, probably too much. I use Twitter very differently than I use other apps. I use Twitter to be a Packer fan. Like, that is my foremost use of Twitter. So yeah, it's my time of the year. It's my time to shine. Let's go. Micah! Yeah! Might have had a yeah in there. Yeah, Micah! Jaden Reed, Nate Hobbs. They did not practice Wednesday, but limited participants on Thursday for the Packers. Nate Hobbs obviously dealing with the knee injury that he had surgery on in late July, early August. Has not practiced since then. Yesterday, a limited participant, as I mentioned. Reed, also a limited participant, dealing with a Jones fracture. He'd opted not to get surgery on, but it's going to affect his foot. He just hopes to fight through the pain.
You know, there's morons out there that don't believe he has a Jones fracture.
What do you mean? I don't know that, no.
Yeah, there's a non-insignificant portion of the Packers Twitter. All the people who like try and make themselves seem like beat writers but have no access or information, they don't think it's actually a Jones fracture.
What do they think it is?
Some other injury.
According to what?
According to their little brains.
Well, okay, hold on. Do you have names?
Yeah, Peter Bukowski.
Oh, good Lord.
I just saw him tweet it. I don't think he actually has it. Okay. I didn't know this was a thing, and I was wondering why Jason always mentions Jaden Reed hasn't denied any of the reporting I did on this subject. And I was like, why does he keep saying that? But there is apparently a belief amongst...
From Peter Bukowski on Twitter, Jaden Reed is hobbling in every video we see from practice. Even if he doesn't have a Jones fracture, I still don't think he does. I don't understand why he's practicing. Forget doctors. The coaches have eyes. What kind of tweet is that?
Forget doctors. Quote of the year. Forget doctors.
Hold on. Even if he doesn't have actually, that's not, I agree with you, Hunter. That's a terrific portion of this tweet. Even if he doesn't have a Jones fracture, I still don't think he does. I don't understand why he's practicing. What makes him think he doesn't have a Jones fracture when it's been reported and he hasn't denied the report that he has a Jones fracture?
He had the ability to deny it.
Well, yeah, he was asked straight up if he had one, and I think he said, like, okay, I'm done here. What's going on here?
Sorry for that distraction.
Ron in the Key on Twitter just dug up one of my game tweets from 2023. It reads, Jaden Reed, send tweet.
I mean,
my time of the year.
That's a bad tweet.
That's a bad tweet.
Bad tweet.
But that's what I do.
Do we have to make a Monday segment of just reviewing Strouf's Twitter?
We might have to. We might have to. Okay. So Nate Hobbs, I don't think he plays. This is just gut check. I don't think we see Nate Hobbs on Sunday, given that he's barely practiced and hasn't pretty much all offseason. I think your main corners will be Carrington Valentine and Keyshawn Nixon on Sunday. I think you'll see Javon Bullard sprinkled in quite a bit. That's a guy we talked about at length on Wednesday in our superlative game, which if you missed that, you can find the full segment of all of our Packers superlatives ahead of the 2025 season over on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. But Javon Bullard is a guy who I think can make a big step in 2025, and he's going to see the field quite a bit, given examples like this. You have an injured cornerback. You're going to need to do something creative, and he's a guy who can play in the slot and obviously is a safety by trade, but I really believe we're going to see quite a bit of him on Sunday against the Lions, and it's a big opportunity because, as I mentioned before, this is a good Lions offense the Packers are going up against. So we'll see on that front, but I don't think we see Nate Hobbs. If we see Jaden Reed, I think it'll be limited. That's where I'm at. What are you giggling at?
I'm not going to share. Just look at your mentions.
All right. Ron and the Key has just completely derailed the show by going through my Twitter from 2020. This one's from 2017. Ooh, that tweet aged well. It just says Deshaun Watson is insane from 2017.
The one time your brevity
this aged well
and lack of giving actual details on what you're talking about or what's happening in front of you. Yeah, that one might have worked out in your favor.
And then the third one is, hello, Christian Watson from October 23.
He said it's his time to shine, Will. This is what we get from the guy.
It might be Ron and the Key's time to shine. How is he finding these so fast?
I don't know.
That's the one from 2017. Strouf tweets a lot.
He had the links loaded up in a note on his phone. He was ready to go.
Props to Ron and the Key. Okay, we see a Jaden Reed or not, Josh? You lock in here, buddy.
I think we see him. I don't think he's all that effective. I think he gets used in a spot. He's more of a decoy than he is a weapon.
I don't know if I didn't watch Rich Bisaccia's press conference. Credit to me. Do we know who is returning kicks and punts?
I would imagine Emmanuel Wilson is on kicks.
Okay.
And then I would envision we get a call up from the practice squad for Mecole Hardman.
Okay.
That would be my best guess.
Yeah, I think
that's with no information and me just doing what seems to make sense.
Ron's not stopping. Tucker Kraft, hell yeah, from January 12th of this year.
Is it sinking in how when you say it's my time to shine and then
guys, I know this is by design. What do you
I don't think it is
6 sentences.
I think you're pivoting because you realize that it sucks.
Packers tight end. Packers tight end. Tucker Kraft did a great job on that slant. Evading the defensive back.
I don't need a dissertation on what happened. It's a game. Things are happening quick.
Yeah, that's why we get Tucker Kraft. Hell yeah.
You're hardly even sharing thoughts.
You could have done like Tucker Kraft, Man Amongst Boys, like something a little more creative. Right? Like just take a little leap. Doesn't have to be crazy.
Give me anything. Now it's going to be fun to see if he changes his behavior and if he tries to get more creative.
I ain't changing anything.
Because you trying to dial up the creativity could lead us to some even better tweets.
Please do.
Have you ever gone through my old Twitter?
No.
The one that got hacked?
Yeah, Alex Strouf. There's no underscore in that one. Craig Karmazin and Greg Scalzo discovered it on Sunday Karma, but we never brought it on the air. There are some doozies of tweets on that one. My pinned tweet is, stop caring about someone who doesn't care about you.
How long ago was that?
10 years.
Courtney, here's another tweet from me. Have a fantastic Sunday. Please, PLZ.
I don't know who Courtney is.
That was the most recent tweet from that account. June 26, 2016.
There's some doozies in there. Yeah, I got hacked by some shady Ray-Bans.
Oh, you clicked on that classic?
I must have or something. I don't know what happened.
That would explain the next tweet then. Okay.
Yeah. So, anyway. We done? Or no?
Depends on what you're going to say and how it's going to derail us next.
The next thing I just want to discuss is expectations for Sunday, which kind of leans into the Jaden Reeds of the world. I've nerded out about this 6 times this week, and I was in the shower today, Joshy. I thought of you in the shower today, Josh.
Oh,
good.
No, it was good. It was good. I had my eyes closed. It was early in the morning. I was showering, and I was daydreaming about 12 personnel. Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave on the field at the same time. And I said, you know who else I bet is, my eyes were closed like they are right now. You know who else I bet is excited? And, I'm shampooing my hair, getting all in there.
Do you leave the conditioner sit in?
I don't do conditioner. I just do shampoo.
You should add that.
Yeah.
Once a week.
How much hair you have? Should I be taking hair advice from you?
Not a lot, but I have somebody whose profession was hair that suggested such.
Okay, that's fair. I have someone. You're referring to your girlfriend.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, just making sure we're on the same page.
Yep.
I was sitting there washing my hair, and I thought, I bet Josh is as excited as I am to see those guys on the field at the same time. I think these tight ends are going to be huge this year. I think Luke Musgrave, and we talked about him as well on Wednesday, I think he is going to have a big year. And I think it's almost like a foregone conclusion Tucker Kraft will have a big part of this offense, but I think Luke Musgrave will too.
I have a hard time diagnosing just how much of a factor Luke Musgrave is going to be. I have a feeling he's going to make a few big plays and be an important piece and a important role player, but I don't know how much usefulness or big year a role player can have, if that makes sense. I think it's pretty clear the Packers offense is going to function best with Tucker Kraft as the primary tight end. But I think Luke Musgrave's different skill set and his ability to line out more as a flanker or in a sort of big slot position that can stretch the seam, that to me seems useful, especially without Christian Watson for the first portion of the year. I think he is going to be the architect behind some really big gains and shot plays, things of that nature. I do think there's probably a point of diminishing returns on having both your tight ends on the field a ton, but it's certainly an advantage when you have a team that you want to focus on the run game to an extent and sort of being multiple out of that situation. I think Luke Musgrave is going to be a good piece to have. And I think the Packers are certainly better with him. And I think he probably is going to be, here's a prediction. I think he might be the team leader in yards per catch. There's going to be a lot of, we're going to send the big guy who has a mismatch on somebody smaller than him, and we're going to send him right down the field, and they're going to have to choose, does the safety cover Matthew Golden, or does the safety cover Luke Musgrave? And I think he's going to be a guy who doesn't get a ton of targets, but they're going to be high value targets.
Okay, just letting that one sink in. I like that. That's a good take.
Luke Musgrave, hell yeah.
Luke Musgrave, hell yeah. Here's the thing. I need to take my own advice when I say this. Okay? When we talk on Monday, everybody remember that I said this. Is everyone ready? Everybody's paying attention? Don't overreact too much to week one.
I mean,
Mike is going to have one sack, and you're going to be calling him Defensive Player of the Year. Like, stop it.
Now, I would just like to throw out there, Hunter, you were the only one that was on part of the show at this point. Episode 1 of Mr. Relevant. We are coming up, next week will be our 3-year anniversary of the show, which is nuts to me.
Oh, man, this has been a long 3 years.
I know, right? We were coming up on the 3-year anniversary of the show. And on episode 1 of this program, September 11th, 2023, after Jordan Love's first start against the Chicago Bears, I started the show, the very first ever show, with the take, Jordan Love is the front runner for MVP.
Yes,
after 1 week. It was the first take I ever gave on the show.
Overreaction is your thing. And taking that away from you, I think takes away a piece of you.
Overreacting in week 4 is a lot more fair than overreacting after week 1.
No. You're the overreactor.
I'm going to overreact on Monday. I literally lead a game called Stock Up, Stock Down. Right? After the first week of the season, it's kind of hard to criticize a guy too much. But week 1 is weird, especially for the Packers, right? Because a lot of these guys haven't played football, a real live, actual full-blown game since January. So there is some rust to knock off. That's just a fact. So it's hard not. I'm trying to say this now for when I do it on Monday. Try not to overreact too much to week 1 specifically. Okay? That's all I'm saying. When they win on Sunday, though, I'm going to be insufferable on Monday. Oh, yeah. Well, no, I'm already saying that. They don't need to play football for me to say that. They're going to win the Super Bowl this year. The Packers are going to win the Super Bowl this year. The earlier you come around to that, the better.
Who is your proclamation for?
What do you mean?
Don't overreact to week 1.
Me.
Right,
it's for me.
You know you're going to. We know you're going to. The audience knows you're going to.
Yeah. I'm telling you this now So when I say something on Monday where I say like trade Romeo Doubs or like, well, they should probably just like sign a different running back.
So you're warning us now to disregard things you say.
No, don't disregard.
Monday.
Just remind me. Say, hey, Strouf. Remember at about 1:10 p.m. on Friday.
Confusing.
Remember on 1:10 p.m. on Friday when you said, hey, try not to overreact to week 1. You need to be told that right now. And I will say, great point. I really appreciate you holding me accountable. I'm going to continue to say
my
what I
goal
say.
now is to push you into as many overreactions as possible.
So here's my problem.
Can I give you a hint? It won't be very hard.
As the producer of this program, I have a hard time with the host of the program saying, hey, fans, don't listen to what I'm going to tell you on Monday.
That's
but
not
I'm
what
going
I'm saying.
You are, though. And that's my problem with this. Don't say that.
No, see, you guys got it all twisted. You guys got it all twisted now. That's not what I'm saying. I'm going to have a clear mind. I'm going to say things that make total sense on Monday. At one point or another, though, I am going to say something that's a little overreactionary. And that's where I need you to step in. But of the 60 minutes we do the show, or probably on Monday, 65, 70 minutes we do the show on Monday, I'm going to spend 63 of the minutes saying really good, positive, normal stuff, right? Mm-hmm. The other 7
53
is where I need you to grab the fishing rod and reel me in a little bit. That's it. That's all I'm looking for.
I think it's the responsibility of every member on the show who isn't named Alex Strouf to get you as off the reservation as possible.
I'm
get you
kind of
out
here
in the
for
wild,
that.
saying things that you're gonna probably regret.
Well, I do that every day anyway.
Yeah,
it's nothing abnormal. Okay, let's get to some picks.
So let's just recap our first.
We're at 42
Yeah,
minutes of the show.
What have we accomplished, and what should the fans take away from this first portion of the show? Follow you on Twitter because you're going to send incomplete thoughts that aren't really of value.
Yep.
I am going to overreact, and you shouldn't listen to me then, but you should listen to me at other times.
Yep.
And here we are.
Sounds like a productive
job.
42 minutes.
I think I've had a hell of a show. Where have you been? You've threatened to walk out, and that's about all you've provided.
Yeah.
That's about all you've provided.
Yeah, what were we talking about? I forgot already. I've removed it from my mind.
I don't know. Will said something stupid per usual.
Oh, you're the stupid one.
Incredible deflect there.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. Packers-Lions coming up Sunday at Lambeau Field. It's a 325 kick. The Packers are 2.5-point favorites. We are not picking these games against the spread. We are just picking winners, Packers or Lions. Hunter, we start with you.
I'm going to go Lions. With not knowing how much Micah Parsons is going to play, I just have a feeling that the Lions are going to take the air out of the ball.
Well,
I'm going to go Packers. I think it's going to take the Lions a couple weeks to find their footing on offense and defense with the 2 new coordinators, and I think the Packers got all the momentum from the offseason.
Joshy.
I pretty much have the same exact take as Will. I think it's going to be a tough slog. I think the Lions are going to find themselves in more situations where they are not ahead and keeping a lead. They're going to have to do some fighting back. They're going to have to rely on Jared Goff more than he's probably comfortable with. And that's going to lead them into situations, especially early in the season, where they are not playing with what they're accustomed to.
I agree. I'm with the Packers as well. I think this is going to be a big showing for Jeff Hafley, year 2 of the defense. I think another productive offseason. Curious what the D-line looks like, obviously, with the addition of Micah Parsons, the loss of Kenny Clark, but overall think they will be productive against both the run and the pass. I actually think the Packers cover the spread as well. I think they win by a touchdown. But I hope it's a competitive game. I hope it's a high-scoring game to a point, right? Like similar to last night, 27-20.
48's the total?
I believe so, yeah. 48.5.
It's pretty high scoring.
It is. But these are 2 good offenses and 2 good football teams. So we will see come 325. It is 47.5 for the Packers and the Lions. 3 of us have the Packers. 1 of us has the Lions. Okay. That is our Week 1 Packers pick. It is time now for our underdog picks, where you are picking an underdog that you believe will win in week number 1. Which, by the way, as we get deeper and deeper into the season, this will only get harder and harder as the lines begin to adjust to the 2025 season. So it'd be good to get one right off the rip. Hunter, you're first.
I'm going to take the Raiders as the underdog against the Patriots. New England's -2.5. I like Geno Smith. I like Ashton Genty. I'm taking the Raiders.
Now, if that was going to be my pick, do I have to then pick something else? How are we going to work that out?
That's a really good question.
Because that was my pick.
That was the other one I was looking at. I have a different pick.
I think it's acceptable.
I think we can copy.
It's a long season, so there's not going to be a lot of similarities.
I think we can copy.
But it's just straight up winner, right? Not the spread.
Just straight up winner. It's nothing about covering the spread. Correct, Will.
All right, I'm up.
You are.
All right. I want the Jets at home against the Steelers.
Damn it! No, we can repeat. Never mind.
We can repeat.
We're just not getting real original here.
I think Aaron Glenn is going to turn it around with the defense, and Aaron Rodgers is going to struggle, plain and simple. I think the Jets' defense is pretty good, too, so I think they may be able to score a couple points on the defensive side of the ball, which they may need with the Justin Fields-led offense. But I think Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson might connect for a couple big plays, carry the Jets to a win.
There's probably a strategic advantage we could have here by finding the spreads that are 1.5 and technically getting just over the.
That's true. Take a swing.
But that's boring. I'm sticking with the Raiders, the same one Hunter gave. I think Chip Kelly with the offensive weapons there is going to make. I don't think the Raiders are going to be a good football team. I think they're going to be a fun football team to watch that does a lot of exciting things on offense. And I think the Patriots are one of the worst teams in the league, even though I like some of their talent they have there. I don't think it's all going to come together in week one.
Okay, so I also liked the Jets, but I actually think I have two different picks that I like better, and I don't know which one I want to take. One of them is tonight. The Chargers are 3.5-point dogs to the Chiefs. And I'm high on the Chargers. We did it on Wednesday's show. I picked them to win the AFC West. Would be quite a bang to come out and win the season opener in Sao Paulo, Brazil, which I'm grateful the Packers aren't in again this year. The other one's on Monday night. Looking at you, Will. The Bears are 1.5-point dogs to the Vikings at home.
I did guarantee a win, but the spread is so weird. It's just 1 point, so I felt like that really wasn't an underdog.
I will go with the Chargers tonight against the Chiefs, 3.5-point dogs. That would be my pick for week one. So Hunter and Josh are on the Raiders. Will is on the Jets. I am on the Chargers. Those are our week one underdog picks. And our week one picks, Will, Joshy, and I on the Packers. And Hunter is on the Lions. Okay, some final thoughts and, of course, vocabulary and all the in-betweens. Time now for What We Missed on Mr. Relevant, which, of course, is presented by our friends at Door County Distillery. Locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. It's whiskey season. It's tailgating season. Elevate it with Door County Distillery. I love their bourbon. Their single malt whiskey is their most award-winning spirit. It's won 27 gold medals across the United States of America, and it's affordable. It's under $50 for a bottle of their single malt whiskey, which you can mix up in your old fashions, make those real tasty. But they've got other options for you, too. If you're a brandy drinker in your old fashioned, how about some cherry brandy infused with local Door County cherries? They've got vodkas, they've got gins, they've got rums, they've got all the in-betweens. Elevate your tailgate, elevate your party, elevate your football Sunday or Saturday with Door County Distillery. Check out their website, doorcountydistillery.com, to find the retailer nearest you. Use their unique search tool. You can click the product, type in your zip code. So the product you're looking for, say you're looking for the cherry brandy, click that in the drop-down box, type in your zip code, boom, bang, voila. You've got the location nearest you. They've also got a huge list of unique cocktail recipes. If you're feeling creative this weekend, check out that huge list. Just click the spirit you're using. It'll give you a long list of all the different things you can make with Door County Distillery. All right, Joshua, what are you giggling at?
A tweet from yours from 2023.
Okay.
I always say I'm not going to overreact.
Oh, boy.
But I think Romeo Dobbs is going to win Offensive Player of the Year. And then Ron also went through and found, apparently I call people morons a lot on Twitter.
Oh, you think? Yeah.
There's one very funny one here of, in 2020, there was a toddler blowing out candles, but he didn't know how to do it, and I just called him a moron. I believe I called Tony Dungy a moron for saying he fears Taylor Swift is part of why NFL fans are disenchanted. And then Dave Lombardi tweeted that Brock Purdy answered every single doubt and criticism by delivering a comeback playoff drive that has immediately come part of 49ers legend. That's what Joe Montana used to do. And I said, I mean this in the nicest way possible, Dave. You're a colossal moron.
Not like you have a brand. Not like you have a brand on Twitter either.
And I called Dove Kleiman a drooling moron.
Well,
See, at least you're mixing it up, though. It's not the same moron every time.
Tucker Kraft, hell yeah.
I had a little spice to it.
I'm going to give you a Micah Parsons, hell yeah, on Sunday. All right, let's actually start with vocabulary. Will, what'd you learn today?
I'm going to call my shot with this one. I feel like I might get one right for once.
Dude, Wednesday was an all-time doozy, so you got to recover.
Well, there's two parts of that. One, I couldn't even pronounce the word, so you should have known.
Do you know the word?
This one?
No, the one from Wednesday.
Harbinger.
Nope. That's wrong
Big
again.
miss.
Harbinger.
Say that one more time.
Harbinger.
It's close. It's Harbinger.
I feel like you've been changing up the... I watched
Nope.
back. You definitely did not say it like that.
It's Harbinger.
Have we ever considered that maybe you guys may be the ones that are wrong in like all these scenarios?
I don't
They're
think we've
not.
considered
Thought
that, no.
crossed my brain.
I don't think we've considered that.
You had a moment of clarity, much like Strouf has, which is, what if everyone else is wrong?
I do that often. That's the world I live in. Wait a minute. I might actually be onto something for once. You guys are the idiots.
I think I've been backed into a corner so far that my brain is just clouded to, and it's convinced that you guys are right every time.
So let's get back. It's not cloudy. That's the fact. Let's get back to you calling your shot today. So you heard a word and you think you know what it means without Googling it?
I mean, I always Google the definition,
Okay.
but I make up the sentence on my own.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
We got impropriety. A failure to observe standards or show due honesty or modesty, improper language, behavior, or character. Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers have been speculated to be committing financial impropriety.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Nailed it. 10 out of 10.
Way
Can I
to
get an air horn,
go.
sir? Come on.
Give my guy a damn air horn.
Give this guy an air horn.
Yeah.
I don't know
Going
if I
into the
have an
weekend
air
on some
horn
good
ready.
vibes. Just make the sound then.
I found it.
Hey.
Do, 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 do.
I'm like Babe Ruth calling my shot.
Give me an air horn or something, he says. What of a kind.
Let's get the energy up in here.
What kind? I'll get the energy up right now. You ready?
Oh, boy.
Hit me.
Guess who's back? Back again. Newsletter's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? No. And policy in the Green Bay Packers have announced. Murphy's Take 5 ain't going anywhere, baby!
There it is.
Policy's Perspective will come out the first weekend of October, the very first one. You can email your questions, which we are going to do eventually, not today. Policy's Perspective at Packers.com. It will be the same weekly series that Mark Murphy did forever. Murphy Takes 5, which I have told you time and time again on this program. It's like, I look forward to it every month. Now, two things about this. Number one, I don't think it will be nearly as entertaining as Murphy Takes 5. Mark Murphy always said stuff he shouldn't have said. And oftentimes he would create like little beefs in these newsletters. I think policies will be much more buttoned up. I think it will be much more professional. And I think it will be much more, well, you could say,
There's a piece of me
insightful.
that thinks he's still going to do a little bit of the poking of the bear just because of the precedent set by and the expectations from Murphy's.
Yep.
I certainly think that it'll be more calculated. That's for sure. But I still think he, like, when somebody would send in some scathing email about like what an idiot he was, and then he'd just respond like, thank you for the feedback, and then move to the next, like, I think that's still going to happen. You got to keep some fun and lightness too.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, Hunter, I know you have an idea, and I think it's a good idea. Present us with your idea for Policy's Perspective.
I think as a show, on the episode leading into when we need to have that email in by, we all brainstorm together a question, and we make this a recurring thing on the show where we together as a show send in a question.
So it must be noted, the first policies perspective will come out during the Packers bye week. It'll be the Packers bye week. That'll be the first time it drops, unless he drops one this week, but or tomorrow. I think it's Saturday morning.
Oh, you're saying you're mapping out when... Have we seen?
So I'm thinking like in the next couple of weeks, we're going to need to mail one in.
Yeah. This might have to be like next week,
idea.
Wednesday.
Now, do we go goofy? Do we do funny? Or do we go like very serious? This is the question I would ask him if Ed Policy joined us on this program.
I think the biggest celebration we'll have is just seeing our question get answered.
Well, hold on. Do we have to send in it's Alex from Milwaukee, or do we send in it's Alex, Will, Josh, Hunter from Milwaukee and Madison?
I think you
I
have
think
the
we do
Mr.
that.
Relevant Army. It's Mia.
It's me. Oh,
Hey.
it's Mia in Milwaukee. That's
That's
brilliant.
great.
That's
Yeah.
brilliant. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
that's really good.
There needs to be a nod that if you know type thing, and that's perfect. I think we got to go serious.
Well, we
Probably
also,
early, yeah.
We might have to feel it out too. See how he responds the first couple. But I think end of season, our goal should be to be on there at least once.
Oh, yeah, we got to get on there at least once. Yeah, we'll start with Mia, and then we'll work each of our names in one at a time. We got to figure out what email address to use for this one, but we can figure it out.
Yeah, this is no big deal.
Because you can't just
Mia.
make a Gmail.
That's a good point by Hunter. Yeah, okay. Mia. All right. Packers Lions coming up Sunday. Can't wait.
We should just make a Mrs. Irrelevant email.
Oh, that's good.
If it's going to be Mia.
If I get married, does that make her Mrs. Irrelevant?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's too bad.
That's,
That's a tough one
Good
for
news
her.
is that's not my good news. That's not my legal
I
name.
was going to say, you might want to keep that one under the vest. Where do you think those people got ice cream?
The new ice cream shop over around the corner. There's an ice
What,
cream
you guys
shop
have an
over
ice cream shop there?
Yeah, they do a new store open in the 3rd Street Market Hall, and it does burgers, tenders, fries, and ice cream.
Holy
And dirty soda. I don't know what that means.
I believe that is...
Soda with
not
coconut
with
cream in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
any good?
You see...
Yeah, that's a big
see
Mormon
the-
thing. Because they
That's what I
don't
was
do
gonna say,
caffeine
the
and
Mormons.
alcohol. Yep.
Oh,
The Mormons.
I did not expect us to discuss the Mormons.
You'll see this
today.
on TikTok. They make these hideous drinks.
Yeah. My wife has gotten big into the buying a big thing of the coconut cream and putting it in her
I gotta be
sodas.
honest. I thought he was about to say my wife has gotten big into the Mormons.
Mormonism.
Yeah.
No. I'm good there. No.
What's the series that went super popular?
Sister wives?
Seeking Sister Wives.
Yeah, the secret lives of Mormon wives. That's the one where they were all sleeping together allegedly, and
Can't say I've seen it.
I haven't seen it either. I've just seen ads for it. I think it was on after The Bachelor or something. I watched that.
Cool.
All right, I guess we'll
let's
talk to you
finish
on
the
Monday.
show.
Enjoy your weekend. Great football weekend. We'll be back with you Monday, obviously, to react to all things Packers and Lions. But we do have another NFC North matchup coming up Monday night as the Bears take on the Vikings. So I'm sure we'll talk about that at least a little bit coming up on Monday as we unpack the football weekend. A reminder, if you're a fan of Will Summers and Will's Week in Review, it's moving to Monday starting next week.
Air horn.
I can't just, the turnaround on that is not easy. I'm going to just have to add it.
He's getting the air horn drunk.
He is. But before we close out the show, I'd just like to power rank the contributions today. Number 5 on the contributions list is Josh. He had a bad show today. Number 4 is Hunter. No offense, Hunter. No, number 4 is Hunter. No offense to
How are
Hunter.
we going top 5? There's only 4 of us.
I'll get there.
The air horn.
The number no, actually then there's 6. Let me rephrase. There was 6. Number 6 is Joshy, number 5 is Hunter, number 4 is Air horn. Number 3 is me. Number 2 is Will. The most contributions were made by Ron and the Key. Ron and the Key had a Hall of Fame show today.
He did.
Brown and the Key, new MIA Twitter police.
Yeah, he is in charge of the Twitter police. Shout out to the MIA. We appreciate you hanging out with us. We'll be back with you Monday. This is the most ridiculous show we've had in a long time. We're football drunk. We're air horn drunk. And we're actually not drunk, which is shocking.
We go get drunk on dirty soda.
Talk to you Monday. Peace.